Believe it or not everyone likes my videos. I simply don't understand it. Now, the number one complaint is about my broad East Yorkshire accent. A lot of people from our former colonies apparently don't understand a lot of what I'm saying. The other complaint that I get is about some of the products I review, or more to the point, the price of some of the products that I review. I keep getting told that they're too expensive, people can't afford them. Now, to be honest, it beats me why you would spend £10,000 or £11,000 on a motorcycle and then fit cheap and nasty parts from China or wherever on it. But that's what some people do. Now, those of you who watch this channel on a regular basis know that I don't do things like that. For me, the quality of any part that I fit to the bike has to reflect the quality and the value of the bike. But in an effort to please some of those, shall we say, disgruntled viewers, I've searched high and low, and I've come up with a couple of custom parts which, to my mind, sell for pocket money prices, but they are still absolutely the very best quality money can buy. Now, today, as you may have guessed, we're working on the Triumph Bonneville Bobber Black, and I think in both cases these parts represent the first modifications that a lot of people carry out on the bike, because they're quick, simple, and as I've already said, cheap, both being well under 30 of your finest Great British pounds. In both cases they're anodised black because we're working on the Bobber Black, although motone do offer these parts in other finishes. And in both cases the CNC machined from high quality 6061 T-grade aluminium. Now, these parts aren't exclusive to the Bobber or the Bobber Black. They will in fact fit many of the Hinckley Triumphs, both old and new. Now, first off, we've got the Union Jack front brake reservoir cap. A quick and simple install that takes literally about 2 minutes to carry out. And last but not least, we have the CNC machined gear lever peg. Again, a part that will fit most of the Hinckley Bonnevilles. Again, this is a simple install with only one caveat, in that you will need some thread locker in order to install it. Now, to change your gear lever peg, you're going to need a good quality 6mm Allen key. Now, getting the factory peg off can be a little bit tricky because Triumph have a habit of putting a ridiculous quantity of thread lock on these pegs. So I would also recommend that you use a long handled Allen key. It is a simple matter of just unscrewing the existing peg, and it's entirely up to the individual, but because of the amount of thread lock that Triumph have used, I would also recommend cleaning out the thread with an M8 tap. This probably isn't 100% essential, but you're screwing steel into an aluminium thread here, and the residue left behind by that factory thread locker does make the threads very tight. Once you've done that, just a little bit of thread lock onto the threads of the new peg's bolt, and then fasten the peg up. It needs to be fastened reasonably tight, but again, don't overdo it. You don't want to cause any damage to the alloy thread on your actual gear lever. Now, fitting your new brake reservoir cap is very simple and straightforward. The first thing that you need to do is get the actual brake reservoir as level as you possibly can. This is going to depend on how you've got your handlebars set and your switch gear. But as a general rule of thumb, make sure that your kickstand is on the floor, not on a piece of wood, as is common practice. And then turn your handlebars full lock all the way to the right. You should then cover your tank over with something to protect it from any drips of brake fluid with something like a towel, and have a piece of workshop wipe handy just in case any drips off while you're removing it. You then need the correct size posi-drive screwdriver. In my case, I used my King Dick 6-in-1 that fits all types, and just carefully unscrew both the screws that hold the factory cap on. Then take your new motone reservoir cap, put it in place and replace the screws. Again, remember not to over tighten these screws, you don't want to cause any damage to the alloy threads in the reservoir. Now the factory gear change peg and the brake reservoir cap are quite utilitarian items that don't really do the bike any favours. And these two parts from Motone Customs have reached almost legendary status for their ability to bling up a bike and enhance its visual appeal quickly, easily and without breaking the bank. The quality of these parts does shine over the originals. They are just small adornments to the bike, but they're adornments that do get noticed in a positive way. Now that's about all I've got time for this week. Once again, thanks very much for watching. There's a link in the video description down below if you're interested in any of these parts. Next week I've got at least one, maybe two major modifications to make to the T120. So for the T120 fans I haven't forgotten about yet, that's coming next week. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that you've found it useful. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will be back next Wednesday, so until then please ride safely and I'll see you soon.